Sorry guys, I got here as quick as I could. I've been in Melbourne for the last week and a half, so I couldn't comment on this news that is still prevalent because of how biased the media is. I don't know if you've ever heard my views on the media before, but I have some issues with them that are always articulated very, pretty angrily, actually, and tonight will be no exception, and I'm glad. This is an absolute crowd favourite, which is treating journalists like the toilet bowls they should be reincarnated as, and shitting on them. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be doing it late, sorry, because I was just in Melbourne doing what most tourists do there. It's our version of going down to Bondi Waves and drowning. It's just staring at a tram and going, can I cross the road or not? F*** your city's flat. It's terrible. Seriously though, why? Everyone's always like, oh, it's built like a grid. Yeah, it's a grid on a map. Mad. Ooh, Newtown. Endless suburbs. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop shitting on them and shit on Perth. Come and see my show live, you little dwarfs that go into the gold mines and strippers that entertain them. That is what I think about when I think about Perth. Prove me wrong by coming to my show and showing me, nope, cheap, higher than 3'8". Now, what we're going to be talking about is the Gaffe, because the press is still talking about it, which means that people come up to me and talk about it and want to know what my view is about Anthony Albanese not knowing some vague stat that, be honest, you didn't know existed. Even if you work at the Reserve Bank and you're one of their little Gringotts goblins down in the caves, I bet you like 3 of them would be like, 0.1%. You know, like it's such an inconsequential stat. The only reason you think it's important that a Prime Minister has to know it, in fact, that is on par with not declaring the floods an emergency for 2 weeks. It's that critical to the role, okay? How is he supposed to pick up a phone and say, declare an emergency, if he can't remember how much cash is theoretically flowing through the economy? There's no way anyone knew that was important. They all said that it was just this crucial fact that you can't get wrong. Look at all of these stick insects in the press going, this is the most important figure yet. It's so embarrassing. That's why you think it's important. Because the press get to decide what is and isn't important. Say it with me now. Oh, you can't because I've got the mic. Well, anyway, the point is you should be putting that to memory, which is that the press are just getting the country to focus on anything that makes Albo look bad in the specific way that they have been trying to make Albo look bad, which we've turned into a meme here at Friendly Geordies, and all you little TikTok shits have picked up on it, trying to get on my clout. Or maybe you thought of it independently because it's not that profound of a point. But the point is that you guys have all been trying to make this a prevalent thought, right? That the classic, Albo looks like a nice guy, but I'm pretty sure that he's 3 Chinese diplomats hidden in one of those trench coats that kids get in to go to the movies because of how short Chinese people are. That is what the press are always trying to get you to associate in your mind, that Anthony Albanese is inexperienced. His 4 PhDs in Parliament equal not enough time. He's still a green shoot. He's had a fucking life sentence in the place, but yeah, he just doesn't know the ropes yet, you know? And so they have found nothing to back that up in the last 3 years because of how disciplined this man is. It's the first time I've ever been somewhat upset with Labor voters when they say, you got to talk about how Anthony Albanese has cost us the election. There is no chance that if Anthony Albanese loses this election, it is because of him. He has performed a perfect triple backflip, the same one you see those tiny Russian women do, and you think, what steroids are they pumping in her? But that lasts about 2 seconds. Anthony Albanese, a fat Italian man, has been doing that for 3 years straight. No wonder he lost so much weight. Nothing should be more of a glowing resume than that mistake on Anthony Albanese's resume for the leader of the Labor Party, because that means that that's all they've got. In 3 years, they found him muddling up a question in pub trivia in a 5-second bout when he's on camera for hours a day. Hours talking about things that the public actually would like to hear. The reason that you always hear people saying they're both hopeless is because, yeah, if you take out 2 seconds of anyone, they're going to seem like they have no ideas. Go on his YouTube channel. That is what the Labor Party is reduced to because of how biased the ABC, 9 Fairfax, and the Murdoch press are. The only way they can get their message out is through social media, and it is every day. Anthony Albanese talking about how they're going to privatise Medicare, how the Liberals refuse to put in a corruption watchdog because if they did, to quote Trump, you'd be in jail. And also, bringing back Aussie jobs. What Aussie doesn't want that? Immigrants, probably. Which is another thing that they're probably talking about. Just go check out what their actual platform is before you go, they're both good. Didn't know what the cash rate was. Because the whole point is to try and keep them out, and the way that you keep them out is to just make the entire week about this shocker week where Anthony Albanese was tired for 5 seconds. While the camera is permanently on his face like that chick in Black Mirror getting chased around. If they didn't find the gaffe, they'd find something else just as ridiculous, like what? Not eating a sausage correctly? Oh, that's right, they already tried that, or they're gonna have to get creative this time. But I honestly thought that the reason Labor had to lose this election would not get lower than inventing policies they didn't have, because they obviously realized that no one was gonna read their 100 positive plans for the country, and so they made up 3 of them. I thought, okay, this time they're gonna have to come up with something on par with that, something that at least sounds plausible. No, that's all you do. You just need to have someone walking out of a store apparently and getting gum on their shoe. And then, is he really a Prime Minister? Can he really be seen with the Prime Minister of Singapore with gum on his shoe? I mean, it's illegal there. Surely that would be offensive. It'd be a diplomatic nightmare. Anything. The reason you think it is important is because the press think it's important. And the press think it's important because they have f***ing cocktails with the Prime Minister. Yes, as exposed by Addison on TikTok. I don't know why I was shitting on it before, because that was brilliant. He tried to ask Scott Morrison a question, and Scott Morrison freaking out and getting the AFP to drag him out was more than anything that man could have ever said. Picture's worth 1,000 words. It was a cocktail party with all of Canberra's finest. Ooh, wouldn't that be awesome?
I'm hosting some drinks for the media event.
We're all hanging out with Scott Morrison, sucking each other off so that they can get what the power exchange that they need out of it. And these are the people that are supposed to be keeping an eye on the government. Do you think that there's a reason that all of the things that Anthony Albanese's been talking about and having to do their job while also trying to be the opposition leader isn't cutting through? Maybe it's the fact that they're all f***ing mates. Maybe it's also the fact that they're all owned by liberal stalwarts. ABC, Ida Buttrose. Oh no, sorry, it's yours, my mistake. 9 Fairfax, Peter Costello. Murdoch Press is obviously owned by Murdoch. I mean, Jesus, that was an easy one. Imagine if I got that and just my wrong gaff, and then you just got a photo. You thought that Murdoch was owned by Elon Musk. Probably will be one day. So that is the reason why. It's not just the owners that want them to do this. They can't hide behind this thing of, ooh, the big bad Liberal Party want me to do it. No, they're friends with these f***s. They get little exchanges off of each other, this little, here you go, we're going to be announcing this boring press release tomorrow, but they get the exclusive as a result. That's the exchange. In fact, even on Twitter, one of these, the teaches journalism, right? This is how deeply indoctrinated it is. When they were exposed for sitting there scratching each other's backs, just like that scene in The Simpsons where Lisa looks at Capitol Hill and it's just a bunch of fat cats and pigs scratching each other's backs. Scott Morrison was hosting that event. That is the press. They are not there to inform you. When they pointed out, there's a clear conflict of interest here, that they're all having drinks together, and that anytime any member of the public comes up to Scott Morrison, he runs away like Scooby-Doo and the gang from a ghost, and then as soon as it's one of his friends in the press, he's more than happy to answer all the questions, except for about what the price of petrol is, which again wasn't covered because they're all mates. But this person said, oh, yeah, well, that's our job. We have to have drinks with these people so we can get exclusives. They're not even pretending. They are actively admitting their job is to suck up to power and keep them in power. That is the subtext of that. In lieu of that, you have to do their job. You have to inform the people around you, at least educate them about the lens that they are seeing this election through, which is a lens that is completely owned by liberal fogies. It is owned by liberal fogies. Is it any surprise that they are putting Scott Morrison, easily the most incompetent Prime Minister in living memory, easily? He didn't know the price of petrol, talking about, you can't handle the economy if you don't know the figures. They're plastered on nearly every fucking billboard you drive to work to. How out of touch can you be? I mean, it's not like the cash rate is plastered on every BP, Shell, and independent gas outlet in the country all the time. And he f***ed it up.
Can you tell me the price of a loaf of bread, a litre of petrol, and a rapid antigen test?
Well, let me talk to you about a couple of things on that point. Now, I'm not going to pretend to you that I go out each day and I buy a loaf of bread and I buy a litre of milk. I'm not going to pretend to you that I do that. And I'll leave those sort of things to you, mate. And you can run it. But the point is, I do my job every day to ensure that those things are as affordable as they possibly can be for Australians every single day.
ScoMo's ultimate gaffe exposed for half a day. But look, you have to do that. You have to do that work. You have to go out and you have to say to people, stop talking about the gaffe. The reason you think that that's the only thing that's been happening in a country with trillions of dollars getting funneled out into these, friends' purses and shit like that, which is not getting covered, is because they are deliberately not making it covered. Yeah? Does that make sense? Look, just come see my show, all right? I'll see you next time.
Please share and comment below. Comment.